I'm Inspector Fun at KAVU. I wanted to be the Tev of the headwear. And I had the name of the company before I had the product. So I didn't take a paycheck for 2 years. I always say we're so lucky to be selling great products, and it's not like we're selling wire rope at a trade show in Tulsa. I wouldn't hire someone unless I'd hire him on my fishing boat as a crewman. And we're in some very serious situations because more is not better. If you're done working, get out. And we can look at things and say, that's KAVU, that's not. We need a beer opener built into a pan, things like that.
You're listening to the Ogden Outdoor Adventure Show, produced by The Banyan Collective. Find more mind-blowing podcasts at thebanyancollective.com and on iTunes. The Ogden Outdoor Adventure Show. Adventure for your ears.
Hi, my name is Barr. I'm Inspector Fun at KAVU. The spirit of the brand, and make sure to get everyone out there and have the most fun we can. And President, Founder, CEO.
So, founder.
Yes.
Yeah. Take us back. Is this like in a garage, in a van?
Garage. It was on a.
All the best stories are in a garage.
More than a garage. This was on a boat in the Bering Sea in Alaska.
Wow.
As all good stories start.
All
this
good
is perfect,
stories.
yeah.
Probably started. So basically, I was fishing in Alaska commercially for salmon, and my hats would always come off. A normal baseball cap, you can't get it tight enough, and you're down, you're catching fish, and you're looking, and there's wind blasting or water coming, and I was like, that sucks.
Yeah.
You lose your hat, and you need that to shelter from waves and water. So, there's got to be a better way to make a hat to stand your head. So we had some climbing webbing on the boat, and then I kind of put it around the hat, sewed it actually with fishing line. I still have the first one.
Do you really?
Yeah. And
Nice.
then I figured I'd do it with Velcro instead of one of the plastic with
Snapback,
holes.
yeah.
Snapback. And that was kind of the idea. And it worked better. It didn't come off my head as much. So at the end of the season, I came back to Seattle, and I kind of started working on that concept.
Sure.
And it was right at the time when Teva Sandals came out with the jacquard woven webbing that looks like Native American blankets and stuff. And I just loved that look, and everything was so new, it was so cool. So that's where, so I started sourcing that and trying to make a hat out of it. I wanted to be the Teva of the headwear.
Sure.
And one thing led to another, and we refined it. It took me a couple years to refine it. I was still in college at Washington State University, and I'd show my friends, hey guys, check this hat out. And they'd like, looks a little weird, but okay. I'm like, I got an idea here.
Yeah.
And one thing led to the other. A few years later, I was mass producing them and selling them across the country and world.
How early did you adopt the name KAVU?
Interesting. I had the name of the company before I had the product.
Yeah?
Yeah. So KAVU has been in my family, that phrase. We always had a plane, and we flew a lot of places because we lived on an island, San Juan Island. And my dad had a plane, and whenever we'd fly from San Juan Island to Idaho, to like Ketchum, Idaho, you got to go over 2 mountain ranges, and you got to call weather and see what it is. And when he would call and they would say, KAVU, it's KAVU okay. That means, dude, we're going. That means get in the plane. We can fly all the way there with no risk of death or danger going through clouds. So,
and it's Klear Above Visibility Unlimited.
Spelled with a C.
Spelled with a C.
So I also got that idea, the name. So we always use that. It's a KAVU day. Isn't it the best one if we're done fishing and just doing things?
Yeah, that's a good phrase.
Yeah,
that's
it's a great phrase. It's like, I'm so happy I could just, I'm content. I'm just appreciated today. I fulfilled it. If I died tomorrow, I don't care. I was happy. So that was this feeling, and so I came up with that kind of concept for a company and a philosophy behind it. And I remember telling my buddy who was with me, middle of the night, and I'm like, hey, I got a name for a company. Don't know what I'm making. I'm like, KAVU. He's like, oh, right, whatever, okay. Klear Above Visibility Unlimited. That's what I was telling him.
Yeah.
And a couple years later, finally, after I had the product, that was it.
And then the K part came in.
Because he was stolen, or is already registered for
class 1.
Yeah.
But now it had to be. It always had to be K. So that's
it
perfect.
looks K, and K's, it looks so cool to me, and it gets on with like the Japanese and even Europe and Norwegian. It just looks neat, you know? And the logo, we've had people like, why don't you clean up your logo? It was hand cut, out of a butcher paper. And that's how we didn't have InDesign or anything back then.
You didn't hire a designer to cut it for you even.
Yeah, there was a friend that did the original.
Yeah?
And she was in university at University of Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah. The original version had a heartbeat in it, like an adrenaline thing.
Yeah.
And then we evolved into the mountains, which are looking west from Seattle. So looking at the Olympic Mountains is the logo.
Who was your
I
first...
didn't know that. I should have assumed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, who was your first buyer? Do you remember?
Yeah, exactly. So after I had a couple products, it was like a watch band and some fleece headbands, and I had some funny fleece hats that were like tubes.
And which year was this again? So we're 2 years in?
93.
93, okay.
94.
Gotcha.
I went to a local bike shop in Seattle called Greg's Green Lake, and walked in. Hey, I got this product. You want to buy some? And the guy, I still know him. I see him all the time. He has a company here actually.
Wow.
Is Soul Sunwear, Steve.
That's so
cool. And he gave me a chance, and I came back 3 days later. The next day, you sell any? He's like, Barry, it's only been in here a day. And it came
you
back
need
a
more?
week.
You ready for more?
Ready. I need. When are you going to pay me?
That's what you're waiting for. Yeah.
And then we came back a week later, and he sold, and he asked for some more.
Wow. Wow.
That's where it
and
started.
Then you became a businessman.
Then, rolled the dice without a plan.
Yeah.
And just kind of,
How much bootstrapping, and then did you ever have to go get funding? And
Yeah, it was the good thing I had. I think when I've used to tell the advice, so I had a lot of money saved up from fishing.
Yeah.
So I didn't take a paycheck for 2 years. By the
Wow.
time I was taking money, or even a small paycheck like $1,000 a month, I already had 3-4 full-time employees.
Wow.
So I was investing all my money in, and I was young and enough where I didn't need a lot. I had nobody to support except myself. So yeah, it was bootstrapping, and as you grow quick, what I found was in manufacturing, you got to prepay everything, all the fabric, and just it's like what, So that was difficult. Never had a bank loans, but we tried to turn product fast enough and just pay for it. Yeah, I had a few loans here and there.
Yeah.
But we've always paid everyone.
Look at these two. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we paid everyone.
Tom is like, wait, what?
We've never not paid someone and been late on a commission check or I pride myself on that.
So, how many years you been coming to Outdoor Retailer?
Boy, I was trying to think of that. I went to the second outdoor retailer. I think the second one that started, it was in Reno.
Really?
So I want to say 23 years, so that's 46 of them. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Wow.
That dates me.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Do the math quick.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, what do you think about the industry and the changes, and then how do you stay relevant?
I love the industry. You're dealing with real people. I always say we're so lucky to be selling great products, and it's not like we're selling wire rope at a trade show in Tulsa, right?
Yeah.
Or that
like
little
that.
end part of the zipper, just
Yeah.
that little piece right there.
That one. The what do they call that? It's great trying to stay relevant. I mean, it takes trying to keep the product ahead. We got a good team, a design team, and everyone has a lot of influence. We ask a lot of our retailers and partners, like, is this good? But see, then we find out they don't know either, because it's one big crystal ball of trying to find out what the customers want.
Sure.
That's coming into
And
a
sometimes
store.
the customers don't know what they want
They
until
don't.
you tell us what we want.
Until you see it, exactly. So we got to get it there. But in our battle, being a small brand, we got to get it through the doors.
Yeah.
We know this is awesome. You just got to, trust me, get it in, test it on the fun and wild.
Yeah.
So
Then you surround yourself with a team of people that kind of run on a different wavelength too. I think that helps.
we have two things when we're hiring staff or trying to get someone. I have one rule, and that two of two. Let's see. I wouldn't hire someone unless I'd hire him on my fishing boat as a crewman.
Wow.
Which means that's a big statement that if I had to wake them up at 2:30 in the morning and go outside in the rain and they have to be awake for 20 more hours, are they going to be smiling? You know, are they going to be 3 steps ahead of solving a problem instead of looking at something and saying, that's someone else's problem. I'm not going to pick up that box there, you know? So it's a real mentality of
No, that's a
staff
great
we
question.
have.
I see exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
You know, you got to think ahead. It's like you're coming into a boat or to a dock. You need to have everything prepared before you get there. And you can't tell someone that. They just got to be able to do it and have learned that.
Right.
So
What's that other question?
Hire long, fire fast. That's not the question, but
that's the philosophy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can't change someone,
Right.
and you don't want to change someone.
Right.
And our other one is, if you need to be managed, you're probably not going to be able to fit in at KAVU.
Yeah.
You can ask these guys.
Nobody can manage Tyler.
No,
Right?
you don't want to stifle and manage. You want
No, not at
you
all.
want the creative juices to come from everybody.
Yeah.
And you know, we've been real lucky with everyone we've hired as they get what we're doing, and we choose to keep the company a different way and not take ourselves seriously and have
when
fun.
did the lifestyle was there from the beginning?
Yeah.
Obviously, the athletes. You know, when did that all start coming
It
in?
started from day one. So one of my first hires was Adam Chandro, who was on the Olympic team kayaking.
Oh, wow.
And a big whitewater. One of the first, did a lot of the first whitewater in Idaho. And so that was our first way to get the name out there. Hey, will you wear this hat?
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect.
Yeah, so I would show up at the Idaho Rivers, little things up in Riggins, and just put out a table and try to sell keychains, you know?
Right.
And then when we started making clothes, these guys would wear it when they would go around the world or the Chile on expeditions. They'd this stuff just doesn't break. So that's how we would get it. And then we would give those guys maybe $50, $100 if they got a sticker published in the magazine.
Sure.
It's kind of the old way of marketing,
Right.
you know? And then, you know, it was all whitewater based, even though I wasn't a whitewater, but I loved it. It's because it was fitting their lifestyle, the ruggedness of the first products. Then, you know, I became a paraglider. I was already a paraglider, so we have air sports, and that's just kind of fits in with KAVU. It's like, you know, it's a KAVU day. God, it's a good day to go fly.
Right, of
Or
course.
hike and fly.
Yeah.
And then it's morphed into kayaking, kind of slowed down. A lot of guys got out of it. And, you know, we started getting connected with other like-minded athletes, and then that team's grown from there.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you got to meet this guy. He's awesome, you know? And then he turns out to be epic and with us for 10 years.
Did you think while you were fishing in Alaska that you were learning so much business philosophy during those years?
Yes, and the reason why, because I'd come back and go to classes, and I was running a business that was big, and it had 4 employees that I'm in charge of their life, you know? And we're in some very serious situations, and you'd come back to these professors, and they don't have a clue, because they've never been out in the real world and had to make life or death decisions or financial decisions. So, and that really helped me a lot in managing, I think, and also in sourcing. That being on a boat, you have to prepare for anything going wrong at any time.
Right.
You're 100 miles offshore, your engine stops, no one to call, you know, so you don't turn your engine off, or you know, your batteries go dead. And I took that knowledge into sourcing when we were making everything, you know. It's like if I was buying a zipper, I need 2 places, because that guy might be out of it. I don't want to slow down production. I need 2 other places to be able to source from. So that's kind of a business philosophy.
Yeah.
You know, same way in production. It's like, yeah, this factory's doing good, but if he goes under, I need 2 other ones right there, just so you can maintain your delivery and quality.
So how big is KAVU now? From 4, you had 4 originally.
Yeah.
So to how many now?
We've not that many. We're very lucky, because more is not better.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, we have, I think, 15 in the office that are, you know, salaried. That's marketing, accounting, design team. And then we have maybe 15 at our stores. We have 2 stores to sell the brand.
Right.
They're, you know, part-time or retail, and they're still included in everything we do as a company. Yeah, and at one time, I think in '97, I had way more people than I did now, because we were sourcing everything in the U.S., so we had trucks running fabric and delivering it all around the city. And now we're just more technology, smarter. We got some great people in the company that figure that out and are forward thinking. Yeah.
Does it just continue to evolve naturally? Is it? I mean, what's the plan? I mean, what brews through your head when you still go fishing? You know?
Yeah. I mean, have fun. That's the most important, that I try to get everyone when I come into the office, because we're all, and if you're done working, get out. Don't wait there because I'm sitting there.
Got you, man.
And, so people have a lot of freedom. What am I thinking about is, obviously, through innovation in casual clothing is challenging, because, it's a shirt. So how do we tweak it without being a technical and making a thing? Because we're not anything technical. We're kind of après lifestyle.
Yeah.
But you want to make it fun and have an attitude and have a philosophy built into it. So that's the challenge. And we can look at things and say, that's KAVU, that's not. And Leah, my design director, and we got to be real in tune, because I'm on the sales side. I hear to the salespeople, but I also have the influence of, this is the direction we're going. And she has this is what we should do, but doesn't hear the, stuff from the stores as much as I do.
You're saying we need narwhals on these shirts.
We need narwhals because they're unicorns.
Take my word for this, all right?
And they went with it. We need a beer opener built into a pant, things like that.
Finally.
Yeah,
exactly.
Finally, someone's thinking about it. And we have a lot of influence from the reps and coming up with wacky ideas,
Yeah.
So
well, we're all very appreciative of what you guys do, man.
Thanks. It's fun. It's great.
And thanks for inviting us into your little family too.
I love it.
I feel it.
You guys are welcome anytime.
I feel it. I love
Thanks,
it.
Barry. Appreciate it,
If we ever
man.
get you up to Seattle, we'll show you
it's going to
a true
happen.
KAVU
Absolutely.
day.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks again.
That was